Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this Data Analytics with Career Guidance course. Today, we are in day 4 of Power BI. The topic for today is DAX functions. We'll try to understand what are these DAX functions and we'll work on few examples. Let me first open a notepad. There is a notepad which I have prepared for you people. Let me just open it. Yeah. So there is one notepad which I've prepared a detailed information about the DAX functions. Okay. So we may not be working on all the examples here, all the formulas here, but I'll try to cover as much as possible. But again, there is a detailed DAX functions which is available in my Instagram page and also in my YouTube channel. Okay. So I'll be giving that link in the end or in the WhatsApp group. You can go through that, you can go to that link and you can learn in detail. But yes, we learn which are the major ones, which are the commonly used functions we'll learn. Okay, right. DAX functions. Most of the people actually feel DAX is very complex or it's very difficult. Let me make it very clear. DAX is very easy, but only thing is you should apply some logics. DAX are very easy actually. You just write the functions, you just write the formulas exactly like what we do in Excel. But in Excel, we refer the cells. Okay, we have to give some reference for you know writing or say creating the formulas. But here you are referring the columns itself. So what is DAX? DAX means data analysis expressions. So we are doing the data analysis by writing the expression. Now, what is expression? Expression means a formula, equation. In DAX, we have three different type of calculations, what we actually do. Three different type of calculations. What are those? Calculated columns, measures, and tables. If you understand the concept of these three, the columns, measures, and tables, then learning DAX function is very easy. Why people actually get confused is they'll not differentiate or they'll not know the difference of what are columns, what are measures, and what are tables. But if you understand the difference between these three calculations, then these are all functions you're just learning. That's all. Then you'll know which function to use when. So today we learn about these three different calculations. And after that, you try to work on any of these functions I've mentioned here, it will become very easy. All right. So as I told you, I may not be able to explain all the functions here, but this notepad will be given to you, wherein you can use this notepad and practice. And also I'll be giving you the link of detailed explanation about all the functions of DAX in my Instagram page as well as in YouTube channel. Right. So we understood that there are three different calculations what we can do. I will tell you how actually these calculations also work. I have also given the link from Microsoft. Okay. This link, let me open this. Use this link for your reference. A detailed DAX functions are available here. You can go and you can refer this. Suppose if you think that you want to refer any of the functions, say for example, I want say text function. I'll click on this text function. Here you can see there are so many text function. I'll go to this left, click on this. You'll get a detailed information about the functions what you're referring. And also you have examples here as well. Okay, so this website is from Microsoft Power BI itself, wherein I given the link, you can use this link and I'll be sending you this notepad. Use this notepad for your reference and also this website, which will help you in understanding any DAX functions. Okay. And if there are any new functions getting added, that will be updated in the website as well. All right. So first we'll go to this calculated columns. First, we are working on columns. So understand the columns. Okay. As we have functions in Excel, in DAX also we have these functions. And they are classified, okay, as text functions, date functions, and number functions. Let me open Power BI, and then we'll import some data, and then we'll work on some of the examples here I'll just explain, and then also I'll explain about all the functions available here. So meanwhile, I'll just explain a few functions here so that, let this application get opened. Text functions, we know that we'll be working on the text part. That is, we have this cases, what we change, upper, lower. Then we have this left, mid, and right. Then we actually use replace to replace the data or substitute. Then we have this trim, repeat. Then in date functions, we have day, month, year, and date, what we have in Excel also, where we can extract the day, month, year, and we can combine day, month, year by using this date function. Let me go here. Quickly, I'll just take the data as well. Let's import the data as well. Selecting all the tables here. We go to transform. All right. So here I mentioned that the column header should be correct. Okay. So yesterday we saw this in our Power Query editor. So I came to this Power Query editor to correct these column headers. So how to correct that? In Home tab, we have this use first row as headers. I'll click on this. But again, I'll go to this data. This is fine. Location, this is fine. Product, there is a problem here. I need to move this row to headers. I'll go here and say use first row as headers. Segment, same problem. We'll do this ship mode. Okay. So I just corrected. So if you feel that the data we need to modify, we'll come to this Power Query editor. I just corrected it. So close and apply. All right, it's getting loaded. Then after this date functions, we have this number functions where we use this round, ceiling, even, odd, okay, mod, divide, and all these things. Then after that, we'll go to this measure. And then we have the tables. Right. All right. So now we have the data. So one by one, we'll learn. Now, whenever you are writing DAX functions, okay, please go to this data view and then write the DAX functions. As I told you, DAX is nothing but it's a expression what you're writing. These expressions are nothing but the formulas. In Excel also, we have some data sheets. There we'll be writing the functions, right? So similarly, here go to this data view and then write the DAX functions. Now we are working on columns, okay? Calculated columns. If you just see this, we have this text functions. First, we'll go with this text function. Let me take this customer table, okay? Usually when we say text function, we think about changing the case, that is uppercase and lowercase. Let me click on this new column. I clicked on new column. I have this column here. See, a new column will get created. When I click on this new column, there is a new column which gets created. You can see I have this formula bar as well here. Now, we'll write the formula. We write the DAX expression. we have to give the column header, the column name. In Excel, what we do, here we'll have some column. In this cell, we'll say equals and we'll refer the cell. But here it's not like that. I have one column. Here I have the formula bar. Here, first we should give the column name, the column header. The column name need not be one word. It can be, like a sentence as well, but make sure that it is very small. Let's say customer name. I'll say, say I have given space here. Still it works. Okay. Equals upper of, just type upper, you'll get the IntelliSense, and then we have to give the column name. See, I'm giving the column name. Don't type like this customer name and then close the bracket. This is wrong. The syntax is, it will be like this. See, just type a few characters. You can select this, say customer name. Customer is the table name. You can see that it's a table name. Customer name is the column name. Select this or use tab, close bracket, say enter. See, you can see I'm getting the capital letters. That is uppercase. Now, if you want to get lowercase, I'll just click on this new column. And here I'll say customer name, lower of customer. Close bracket, say enter. See? Now you might be thinking I can do the same thing by using Power Query Editor. I'll go to Power Query Editor and then I can change the case, that is uppercase to uppercase, lowercase, or proper case. You can do anything. Either you go modify your data in Power Query Editor or get the columns here by using formulas. Anything is fine. For one problem, there are 100 solutions. So whichever you feel better, you can use it. All right. Okay. Next, let me come to this data table. Here I have, say, I have one column order ID. I need to get first 2 characters, the middle 4 characters, and the last 6 characters. We can actually use split and we can split the columns. That we saw in yesterday, that is in Power Query Editor. But how I can do the same thing? By using formulas, that is DAX functions. We have something called as left, mid, and right. Let me go to this table, and here I have this new column. I clicked on this new column. I'll get the column here. Now what I'll do, I'll go here. I'll say country code equals left of order ID, comma, and again, new column. Now I want the last 6 characters. Let's say we'll have order code, right of order ID, comma, I'll say 6, close bracket, say end. Next, if you want the middle 2 characters, we have mid. What is that we have in the middle? So we have the year. Okay, let's say it, say order year. Let's say mid of. Now it says text. Text is what? Order ID. Okay, comma. You see here it says starting position. Let's go here. See starting position. Say 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, comma. Number of characters 4. Close bracket. Say enter. So this is how we can actually write the DAX functions. So I mentioned here, see, uppercase, lowercase, left, mid, right. We can also use this concatenate, that is to combine the columns. Let's say I want to get the number of characters. Let me go back to this customer name. Here I'll say new column. And here we'll say number of, I'll just give one column name. And here we'll say len of customer name. See, we'll get the number of characters. Now, suppose I want to know the space. Where is the space position in this customer name? I'll go to this table tools, new column. Here we'll say get space position. Say find. We have this find in Excel as well. Find text. What is that I'm trying to find? Space, comma, within text, customer name, comma, starting position 1. Suppose if the value is not found, I'll have this 0. What is this value not found? So in Excel, we don't have this parameter, but here we have this because in Excel, what happens? If I try to find a character and if that character is not found, it'll throw error, the value error. But here we have one more parameter which says 0. If the value is not found, it'll give us 0. Let me say enter. I'll get the position of the space here. See, 5 means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The space position is in 5. Right? So likewise, we can use, there are so many functions here which we can use for getting the columns here. Say, instead of, in Excel, what we use this reference, so here we have to refer the entire column. All right, so we have this replace and substitute, which we have in Excel as well. Let's try to work on that as well. Again, let me go to this data table. I'm just trying to use some appropriate columns, which will be easy for us to learn. Now, let's say I have this product ID. Here, in middle, I have, some characters, 2 characters. I want to replace these 2 characters with some other characters. I'll go to this new column. I'll use replace. Okay. Say replace. Just give one column name. Replace. It lasts for old text, that is product ID, comma. Then starting position, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, comma. How many characters I need to replace? 2 characters. And then it lasts for new text. I'll just type 4x close bracket. See, you can see I'll get a new column where the middle 2 characters will be with 4x. All right, suppose I want to replace these hyphens. So wherever the hyphens are there with slash. Let me go to this table tools and say new column. I'm getting a new column here. And then let's say hyphen slash. This is the column name what I'm giving. You can give any name. Now I'll say substitute. It lasts for text. I will take this product ID, my column name, comma, old text, it is hyphen, replace with slash. Close bracket, say enter, you can see here, the hyphens are replaced with slash. So likewise, we can actually write the functions. These are column functions where We are creating a new column here within the table. Same thing, we have date functions, number functions as well. Now, suppose if you want to extract day, month, year, I have here order date. Okay. Let's say new column. Say get day. Day of order date. Close bracket. Say end. See, we'll get the day of ordered. So if you see this, it says September 25th, I'll get this 25. Similarly, I can use, month and year to extract month and year as well. Suppose I have day, month and year, I can use this date function and I can get the date as well. Okay. All right. Suppose if you think I don't use these functions day, month, year, I can also get a day, month, year without function as well. That is, let me show you. I have a new column. Let's say I want to get what, or say month name. Just type the column order date. You can see that I'm getting all these options here. Suppose if you want to get the month name, select this dot month. You have to select, don't always type, because there are some, rules which has to follow. Like we need to have the brackets and things like that. So instead of you typing everything, just go and select or use tab, say enter. You can see that. We'll get the name like this. Right. So here I have given some of the functions here. You can go here, say date diff. We'll find the difference between two dates. Date add, we can add the number of days, month, year or something depending on the intervals here. Suppose if you want to get today's date, today. We know this today, that is in Excel also we have this today and now. Let me just show you that. Just say new column. And then today and see, it will give me today's date. If you want, I can change the format. You can go here. You can change the format however you want, whichever format you want, you can select it. EO month, end of month. Okay, suppose if you think you want to get the end of month, you can use this EO month, which is there in Excel as well. Week, day, week, and we can see almost all the functions, whatever I mentioned here, is available in Excel as well. Right, the next one. So here we have the number functions. Let me just tell you few of them. Say abs. Abs means what? Absolute. Same thing we saw in Power Query Editor as well. Say in this profit, I have some negative values. If you want to convert these negative values into positive values, then I can use this abs. So let's go here. I'll click on this new column. Okay. Let's say negative to positive equals. Let's type abs. Say abs of profit. See, I'll use tab or select that and say enter. And if you go now and check, see, there are no negatives. All right. Now we understood the functions here. We have this round, which actually works exactly like Excel. So round we have, ceiling we have, floor we have, which is used for rounding off the values. Even or odd is used for rounding the values to the nearest, even number or odd number. Now let's come to this part. This part is very important for us. This is where we'll be learning the next level, that is measures. Now here I have one requirement. The requirement is I need to get some profit percentage. When I say profit percentage, the formula is profit divided by sales. So this is my formula. Okay, so I'll go here in this data table. Just understand now the table is also important. So I'll go to this. I have this data table here. I'll write one formula, that is DAX function, in data table, a new column. Okay, this is a new column. Now I'll say profit percentage. I'll name it as column. Okay, the formula is either I can use divide. Okay, there is a formula, that is we have this divide, or we can use directly, let's say divide. It lasts for numerator. Let me take it as profit, comma, denominator will say sales. Alternative result, I'll say 0 and I'll say enter. Let me change this to percentage. Okay, now I have written the formula profit divided by sales, and you can see the percentage here. I have this profit and sales here, and I'm getting this percentage here. Suppose if you want to create the reports out of this, I want to get this profit percentage. What I'll do is I'll go to this report view. Let me take one table, and then here we'll try to create one report. Okay, all of you please listen this carefully. I'll go here. I will select, say, region. Then let me select the sales column. And then I'll select profit. And then I will select profit percentage. Okay, right. Now, I actually have this sales column where it is aggregating and is giving me this result. Profit, it is giving me the aggregated values. And if you see here, the profit percentage, I'm getting minus 24,000, 47,000, 26,000, 70,000, which is actually not correct. But if you go to this table, in the column, you're getting this 23%. Let me open Excel file. And here, let's take the sales value. What is there in the first row? The sales value is 1044.63. Just to show you the calculation. Okay. Profit is 240.2649. Okay. Now let's say profit divided by sales. I'm getting this 23%. That means the result what I'm getting here is perfect. But when I'm actually creating the report, what is happening here is the total sales for center, okay, is 501,239.89. So let's do that now. 501,239.89. And profit is 39,706.36. Now, if I do the same, if I give the same function, say formula here, see, it should be 7.9%. The actual result should be 7.9%. But if you see, it is giving me something else. So try to understand whenever you think, okay, you want to calculate the values row wise in the table, then I'll be using this columns. What we use this columns. But suppose if you think I want to do the calculation in the canvas, we call this as canvas. I'm creating one report. If you think I need to get something here in the canvas, then I'll be writing the measure. So the measure will come into picture now. If you go and check this notepad, so we have this calculated columns. Till now, what we learned was columns. Now we are learning about this measures. Measures are actually used when we need the calculation to happen in the canvas year. And most commonly, this will be used for aggregate calculations. Now let me go to this data view. What I'll do, I'll select, now measure can be in any table, so you don't have to bother, but I'll select this data table. Here I'll say new measure. Okay, I'll select this new measure. Now here we'll say profit percentage and we'll say measure. Now, when I'm actually writing the formula, we should not use this profit divided by sales. I'll say sum of profit divided by sum of sales. Or you can use the divide formula also. Both are same. I'm just directly using this. We can use divide, open bracket, numerator, you can say sum of profit, and you can say sum of sales. I'll say enter. Now, when I say enter, you can see that in the right hand side, I'm just moving my cursor here. There is one measure which got created, but we cannot see that in the column here. There won't be any column created, but here you can see there is one column, but you not get the results here. Now let's go back to this canvas. Now what I'll do, I will take data. Here we have this profit percentage measure. Let me change this format to percentage. Now you see, I'll get, see, 7.92%. You can see that here we're getting this 7.92%. So the logic is, whenever you think I need to do the calculation in the canvas for the aggregated values, then I'll be using the measure. But otherwise, if you think I want to get the calculated values in the column itself, then I'll be using this columns, calculated columns. So this is the difference, that's all. If you know this difference, then you can write any DAX functions. It is very easy. Okay, let me show this measure. So we have this sum, average, count, all these are aggregated functions. So you can use this. You can try this. Say, if you want to get average, I'll say average. But here, the calculation will not happen whenever I drag and drop in the canvas with the reports, then I'll get this results. Okay, so this is the difference between measure and columns. Let's take one more example. Let's go here. I have this conditional function. Here I have this conditional function. Okay, the conditional function, what I have, I can use this in two different ways. What is that? First, let's use column. I'll go to this table. I'll say new column. I'll write the if conditions here. Say get status, I'll say column. If sales value is greater than or equals to 5,000, then I'll say it should be high. Again, if sales value is greater than 2,000, then it should be medium, else it should be low. This is the formula what I've written. Say if I given the condition here, if this condition is true, it should be high. If this condition is false, it will go here and then it will give me medium and go. Say enter. If you go here, see, I have this high, low, and medium. Now I need to create the report. I'll go back to this canvas. Now what I'll do, let me take one more table. I'm just taking one more table. Keep it here. Okay. Let's take, instead of this region, I'll take state so that we'll have more columns, more data here. Now I have this sales data. Let me remove all this. And then I'll take that status column, what we just created. Status. Right. Now just see the results here. The formula what we had written was greater than 5,000, it should be high. But if you see 16,000, it is giving me this low. 3,000, it is giving me medium, that is fine. See 35,000, it is giving me low. And again here 13,000 high, it is fine. So 29,000, it is giving me low. So what's happening here? Whenever, okay, when you write a formula, the DAX function as a column, that is applied only for this particular table with each row. But if you want to get the same thing here, and if you want to calculate that for the aggregated values, then this will not work. Then what should I do? I'll write the same formula. See, if you want, I'll just copy the same formula. Now I'll go here in this data table. I will create one measure. Okay, so I'm creating one measure here. Instead of this column, let's say measure. Okay, here I cannot keep this as is. I'll use sum of sales. Okay, if it is greater than or equal to 75,000, it should be high. Sum of sales, say greater than or equals to 25,000, it should be medium. Let me go here. All right. So if sum of sales is greater than 75,000, it should be high. If sum of sales is greater than or equals to 25,000, it should be medium. Otherwise, it should be low. Now I will say enter. You can see there is a measure which gets created. Now let's go to this canvas. So here, I'll say get status measure. Let me remove this column. Now you just see, let me sort the data as well. Sort by sales. See, any value above 75,000, you can see it is high. Any value between 25,000 to, what did I give? I think I gave, let me check the formula 1 minute. I gave 2,500, sorry. Let me change this to 25,000. But still the formula was right actually. I will go here, see. Right? So we can see that we are getting the results here like this. So this is the difference between the column and measure. And also you can see there are some icons, okay? For columns, you can see that there is a table with sigma mark. But for measure, you can see there is something like a calculator. Okay, so likewise also you can differentiate the columns and measure. Majorly, just keep in mind, column will have a column in the table, measure will be created, column is created, but the calculation will happen only when I drag and drop in the canvas. Right? Okay. Now I've given some formulas here. You can just go and you can mark. Okay. There are more other functions as well. Here we have something called as related. Let me tell you what is this related. Let's go back. Let's say I'll take this. Okay. So here I have the location. I can see that I have this state, region, some columns are there. But if you see this data table, I don't have the region here. Only the IDs are there. Okay. So here we have this location ID, segment ID, customer ID. Let's assume that I want to get the customer names here. Okay, the customer names in my table as a column. So I'll just go to this new column. And then let's say customer name. Use this related. And then I'll just give the customer name. And okay, you can see that I'm getting all the customer name depending on the customer ID. Exactly like what we use this VLOOKUP. We have another formula, lookup value. So what this lookup value will do, I'll tell you. Again, we'll go to this table tools, new column. Let's get the customer name, but this time we are using lookup value. Say customer name, lookup value. It lasts for the result column. What is the result column I need? I want the customer name, comma. It lasts for the search column. Search column is nothing but customer ID, comma. What is the search value? I'll say customer ID from data table. Like what we have this lookup formula, VLOOKUP formula. Similarly, we have this lookup value where we take the result column and the column which we are actually searching, and then I'll say enter. We'll get the same results. Okay, so here I used related and here I used lookup. Both are giving me same results. You can use either related or lookup, but the related will work only when the tables are related. This we'll see in the next session. I'll explain about this. So here you can see the customer table is actually related here. Okay, so how they are related, that I'll tell you in the next session. You can see that this data table and customer table, they are related here. Let me select this and I will delete it. Okay. Now let's go back to this table. You can see it is throwing error because there is no relation between the customer table and the data table. But here we're not using any relationship. Directly we are checking the value and then we're getting the result. So either you can use related or lookup value, but the related will work only when you have the two tables connected. Let me just show you. I'll just select this, drag it, put it here. Now let me go to this table and check. See, now the error is gone, so we'll get the result. Okay. All right. So likewise, we can also use this related columns where we can get the values from another table as well. We saw the aggregated, calculations by using this measure. But same thing, suppose if you want to get, say, for example, I have this table. Let's go to this segment. We'll go to the ship mode. Okay, in this ship mode, I need to get the total sales here, the aggregated values as a column. For that, we have the functions called as SUMX. Let me tell you, I'll go and I'll create one column here. This is something like SUMIF formula in Excel. So we have SUMIF formula in Excel. Similarly, we have this SUMX, average X. Okay, let me go here. Okay, I'll say total sales, SUMX. From where I'm actually taking the values, I'll say from data table. Okay, just observe data table, comma. The expression is which column I'm actually taking. You just observe, I used SUMX, table is data, and the column is sales. If I say enter, this will give me the aggregated value, but it will give me the overall total of the entire table. But what I actually wanted is the sales value of ship mode, that is 001, 02, 03, and 04. So we need to apply the condition here. So for that, what I'll do, here I have this table, right? So here I'll say related table. I'll say enter. You can see that I'm getting this aggregated values now for each ship IDs. So likewise, I can use this related for getting the values from a unique or the master table to the transition table, or to get the aggregated values from transition table to the master table. This is like sum if formula. And what we did, the related one, that is like lookup formulas. Right. So likewise, we have average X, min X. Okay, there are so many formulas like this. You can work on this. And I told you, I'll be sending you the link of YouTube channel, also Instagram, where we can go and check all these calculations. The next one is table. Okay. Now we saw how to use this column. We saw how to use this measure. Now we'll see how we can create a separate table. I'll go here. I'll create new table. I clicked on this new table. That means we're creating a new table itself now. But this will be a referred table. Say, for example, I want, say, sales greater than 5,000. Okay. Say filter. Filter is a function which will create a separate table with the values what we're trying to filter. Okay. Table. I'll say data, comma, filter expression. I'll say sales greater than or equal to 5,000. That's all. See, I'm using this filter function. Data is nothing but the table. And here I'll say sales greater than or equals to 5,000. I'll say enter. You can see that there is a new table which got created. And all the values which are greater than 5,000 will be in a separate table. You can see that 5,000 and greater than 5,000. So when you want to create a separate table itself from another table, then I can use this table functions. I've listed, many table functions here. Let me tell you one more table function here. Top N. Table tools. I'll say new table. I want top N values. Let's say top 100. Okay. So top open, say top N. Top N. Okay. It lasts for N value. I'll say 100. You can mention anything. And here it lasts for the table. I'll say from data table, comma, order by expression, that is sales. I'll give ascending or descending here. I'll give descending because I need to get top 10. That means the highest value to lowest value, close bracket, say enter. Here you can see I have this 100 rows now, which are top 10 values. Go to the sales, and if you check, all the top 100 values will be available here. But this will be as a separate table. You can see top 100. And you can see the icon. There is a table with some calculator. You can see the table here, which we have imported. And here also we'll have one table, but with a calculator here, which says that this is the calculated table. So if you understand the concept of how to use this columns, measures, and table, any functions, whatever you are using, okay, it will be very easy to learn. By using any functions, it will be easy. So what I have done here is I have categorized, okay, I've categorized this PDF, so not PDF, the notepad into different sections where you can use the functions based on columns, measures, and tables. Okay, so which are the columns, tables, and measures. You can easily go and practice this. This one I'll be sharing it with you with the data. You can use this. Apart from this, there are some information formulas and formats. This is just to change the formats or to get whether they are even number, odd number, they are numbers or non-text. This will give only true or false, and this is just to change the formats. If you want, you can use this, but preferably don't use these functions because this will actually change the formats into text. It will not allow you to do any calculation on this. So it's better go here. If you want to change any format, you can go here and change the format here itself instead of writing a formula. Okay. So these are some quick way, or say, some commonly used functions, that is DAX functions. But I'm not telling that only this much, are there are a lot of things to learn. So for that, I've given a detailed list here. Go and practice this. Okay. So within 1 hour, I cannot teach the entire DAX functions, but I've tried my best to teach whatever is possible. But there are 3 calculations. Keep that in mind: the columns, the measures, the tables, and try to work on that step by step, which I've given here in this notepad. That is more than enough. And also, I told you I'll be giving you the link of my YouTube channel as well as the Instagram channel. You can go there and you can check a detailed explanation of all the functions. Almost some 250 functions are there. You can use it for reference. Also, I have given this complete reference wherein, you have the DAX functions here in the website, that is Power BI website. Okay. Right. So I will stop here. And now it's time for you. I'll take 1 minute of yours and tell me how was today's session. After that, I'll take the questions. Quickly, I need just 1 minute from you. Quickly, just take 1 minute so that I'll have time for taking your questions. Right. Now, okay. Now the questions. You have any questions, please ask me. I will answer them, or we'll close the session. What is the difference between substitute and replace? Mohan Babu. Okay. Substitute and replace. Let me go here. See, we have this replace and substitute. Replace will replace the values. Substitute also replace the values, but replace will replace the values depending on the position and number of characters. No matter whatever the characters are, it will replace based on the position and number of characters. Substitute will replace a specific character or a word. Now in this case, see, I want to replace hyphen with slash, it will just replace hyphen with slash. But here in this replace, it will go to the particular position, and in that position, from there, the number of characters it will replace with any word or character what we specify. Got it, Mohan? Yeah. Any other questions, people? Right. We don't have VLOOKUP in DAX, we have lookup value. We don't have VLOOKUP, we have lookup value, which we saw. how to get the data. Say here, if you see, this is lookup value. So we can use this lookup value for this data table. See, lookup value. At last, 1 minute. Let me go here. Okay. So, see, it is not about the arrangement of this data. Okay. The question, what, someone is asking is that at last the sales values top 100 given as descending order, but there is ascending order. See, it is not in which order this column is. We are trying to get the values from data table. Okay. From this table, here I have this data, right? If you actually take it from descending order, from top 100, it will take the values and it will create a table here. It is not that the alignment, the arrangement, what we have here, how the data is arranged. From the data table in this column, sales column, in the descending order, what are the top 100 values? That is what it will take. When I say 100, top 100 means that is the highest to lowest, right? So in this table, if you see in the data table, I have so many values, right? From here, it is taking the 100 values in this table, sorry, in data table. It is going to sales. Here we'll have the values. There are so many values. From here, it will take 100 values like that. Understood? Right. Okay, people, thank you so much. So tomorrow we'll be learning about the visualizations. Okay, all different type of visualizations. That will be very interesting topic. There is one more topic, that is data modeling. It's a very small chapter. That what we'll do is after this visualization, I'll tell you how to actually connect the different tables. But tomorrow we'll work on the visualization so that you'll understand how actually we can create the reports in Power BI. Okay. Right. So take care, all of you. See you guys in the next session, that is visualization. Bye bye. Have a great day.